you look at it for now, most teams are just standing on what they know and love, right? And we look at the teams that still use Sage. They use it in the best way in my eyes.
You know, when I said it was possibly going to be split, that was before we saw no Sage come out. And as soon as that comes into play, you know, I mean, Sage is so powerful on that map. It's like you can't, that mid control that you get just from having her is undeniable. So Bind, this makes a bit more sense. They're obviously messing around with this setup. They practiced it versus Vodafone Giants just yesterday. And whilst it didn't bring them an astounding success, it was 13-9, but even still, the argument is there that they should have had a more convincing victory over Vodafone Giants, and they gave them plenty of space. I think a lot of it wasn't down to the fact that they didn't have a Sage, it was down to the fact that they just weren't focused.
Now, Bind was picked by NiP yesterday against Giants. Wondering if it's their pick or not, we'll find out soon enough. But they did get that win. It was 13-9, and yes, it was NiP that ended up picking this. Okay, so this is NiP's comfort pick. This is where they're going to be starting with when they're getting this opportunity in there. Now, when it comes to BBL, right, let's see what they picked last time around. So BBL's map pick yesterday was Haven, so we could just get a straight Bind and Haven out at the beginning.
It could be. There is absolutely no love for Split right now.
No, we haven't seen it yet. Do you know what? I enjoy
map.
Split, but a lot of teams, they're just not fan of it at all, are they?
That's my favorite map.
It's actually your favorite?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
I've gone for Ascent being my favorite, man. I got forced to queue it like 9 times in a row, and it just now has just like, okay, well, I'm just going to accept it. I seem to be only getting this.
It's had very different impacts on us then, James.
What? Did you get it so many times that now you just hate it?
My 8 times in a row when it got released.
I looked down my match history, and it was 9 games in a row, and I went, what is this? This isn't random.
I'm not even joking.
How is there 4 maps that I've had it 9 times?
I legitimately got 8 in a row. We won most of them, but it wasn't even that. It was just like, can I have something else? It's like, I love peaches. If I eat a peach every day, I'm not going to love peaches anymore.
Well, pistol rounds, right? This is BBL's speciality against G2. That was where they were able to just get the early start, maybe able to force themselves around. Can they get it done here and now against NiP? It's going to be an interesting one to see. And also, I'm just really excited to see what kind of level NiP bring today, because yesterday we knew it wasn't their best. Yesterday we saw some of the mistakes being made there. But as I said, every tournament I've watched of these guys, they get better match after match.
Yeah, I feel like yesterday we saw the B squad of NiP. They were not playing it completely seriously. I love the setup that they've gone for early on from BBL. It's a full stack towards B with 4 players. The Omen ready to throw Paranoia straight down long the second they take contact. That would just be huge had NiP have focused towards that side of the map. But instead, they're going straight into A, where they're going to find LEGOO all by himself. And he's going to have to leg it out of there. Grabs one on the way, but can't make it out fully. And it's a difficult 4v4 retake.
Yeah, the problem is, right, he spotted out a little bit too late. He was playing really backside then. He does get 1 kill. Great, he's done his job. But now this rotation is going to come in. Their after plant positions are going to be really strong coming out from the NiP side. And this push in, it's going to have to be something spectacular from BBL. Cypher camera goes up. kero's going to try and get as much information as possible. He does only spot the Cypher, though. kero continues to make his way, and he doesn't check the corner. Hip dominates him instantly. Aslan's able to reply, but NiP are standing strong. They're managing to get the kills on the board. And Rhyme, you don't need to face that much. You don't have to take the challenge here. Now we're into a 2 versus 2. Russ is looking for the opportunity. Going to start the defuse. Nice shot guard's going to force him off. Oh, luckeRRR, you can't miss those. Those are ones you are supposed to hit, my friend. Fearoth being pushed away. He doesn't have much health, but he still seals the deal. And that's 2 kills coming in nicely right at the end for them to get that done. Oh, and he just manages to escape. That bomb's not going to blow him up.
Now 1-0 for NiP, and look, luckeRRR missed a couple of shots, but at least they're not punished for it.
Yeah.
This time. But obviously, he can be a little bit hard. He was going for the headshots, not maybe fully knowing how low that player was. We're going to see BBL take out very weak weapons. Now, I'm always a little bit worried whenever I see that shorty on a Jett. They can just dash up, get in your face, and take you down if you're not quick to deal with them.
cNed wants those star points, man. He's going to be like, okay, I'm just going to hide around a corner. I'm going to hear something, speed boost myself forward, and put it right up in your grill. Take your teeth out and your head clean off.
So I like this setup as well. cNed just baiting.
Oh,
so they shouldn't think there's a player close, although it looks like they were being cautious of it for just a second. Not as they run out, but a whiff from Aslan. Russ is there to save the day from long. And cNed still waiting for a victim. Swings out hero, spot both, and indeed he does. Now ready with the shorty for them to push into hookah.
And this is good, though. Like, I like what we're seeing from NiP, right? 2 players together, 3 players together. They've only lost 1. They weren't in a position where the refrag wasn't possible. Now they can group up and make a decision on where they want to go. Do need to be careful though. Kero close with a frenzy. He's going to tuck himself away in the corner here. And the Cypher cage is going to block his vision, but he hasn't been spotted by the Sova's drone. Kero's tried to get some information. If they're looking for him, they expect him to be there. luckeRRR takes him down. It's no problem at all. Ooh, nicely done by luckeRRR though. He avoids it, and Russ just delivers another headshot.
Now Russ is on fire in this round. Luckily, luckeRRR is coming back with his own. Managed to get a 4K, and it's very easy when you've got the Marshal up against non-armored opponents. Just tap them in the body and they're dead. That's exactly what he was doing. No need to aim for the head. As 2-0 comes on the board, BBL are finally going to get that buyout. Full Phantoms. That's not something we used to see. Back in beta, it was all Vandals, but now people like the Phantom spray control. A little bit, well, a lot easier to handle. And if you do headshot them, that was the thing that we wondered for a while. Why would you not go for the one-shot headshot? But with the gun kick that you receive from it, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to hit that shot in return anyway.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, it really depends on the type of player that we're seeing at the moment. For now, right, you look at like your Angels, your Screams, we're regularly seeing them more on the Vandals when it comes to it. But Phantom in general is the weapon of choice for most of these players.
I think that's often because if you're running into a site and you're going to see multiple players, you need to be able to just tap, 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 and not worry about having to stop and spray every single person.
LEGOO's got a bit of idea that he might be seeing some players soon, and that's not going to work out. luckeRRR, what you said about him not landing his ult yesterday, Mitch, he's just managed to get 2 kills here with this one. This is making a third as well. luckeRRR's just going for it. Are we going to see the ulti special come out? luckeRRR on his Jett, loving life right now. And he's just styled on him. This is the buy round, and they've done nothing thus far.
Well, they've died. That's about all they've done. luckeRRR's been shredding. He definitely heard us calling them out beforehand, saying, oh, he doesn't hit anything on his ult. 3K, 4K, let's go for the ace. Why not? Oh, because he's dead. That's unfortunate. But hell, I think he did
enough.
Well enough.
Yeah, he did enough, definitely. That's an ult 100% worth it. Entering as a Jett with your ult up, throwing those knives forward. That was some distance, man, on the first one.
Oh, yeah, he was just holding it as well. Player jumped across, and he hits it. Let's see that from his perspective. I'm sure he's a very happy man. A 3-0 up is where NiP currently reside. And for BBL, it's going to be a rough one. I don't imagine they're going to get a whole lot out when it comes down to investing. So it's going to be kind of gimmicky, and you can see 4 players towards B is definitely their favorite for these kind of rounds.
Okay, Boombox going forward. Oh, no! LEGOO, no! You heard that. You should have known what was coming. Hip's just going to look and go on cleanup duty. It's so easy for him. They push him, and he just holds strong. 57 health, but it's not even a problem. 4 swift kills. But that Boombot, what on earth, LEGOO?
It was a bit...
He's like, I hear it. I'll just go play with it.
I'll just run straight over it. It won't see me.
It's like watching my son go and chase after the remote control car. Oh, look, it's fun. So this one blows up in your face.
Yeah, I hope you've not bought him one with one of those Samsung batteries in it. You don't want to...
Definitely not. For his birthday, though, I just bought him one of those ones that you can sit in and ride.
Yeah, I saw that. A BMW, wasn't it?
Oh, no, Mercedes.
Oh, Mercedes, sorry.
Go on, have some class. Definitely a toy one. I cannot afford a real one, let's be honest.
I was going to say, your son's got a Merc before I do. What the hell is this about? It's embarrassing me. No, this is sheer embarrassment for BBL, but not really. I mean, they've lost one buy round where luckeRRR shredded them with an ult, and really these early rounds have gone about as well as you expect. Something we touched on yesterday was that you can get a 2-0 from the pistol, and it also sets you up fantastically if you win that first buy round, because your opponents don't have the money to reinvest, as we're seeing here, and often that should be a 4-0 guaranteed. As it is, flawlessly.
I think the problem here, right, is just that buy round they first had. They didn't expect luckeRRR. He must have been grabbing the ult orbs as well, because he was able to swing out with those knives, cause them a real big problem.
Yeah, it was the Marshall 3K that he had.
I'm sorry, LEGOO, but just, you can hear it, my friend. Hip was just rolling on him after that. Production has just added insult to injury now for him.
See it a few more times. That was really nice by a Hip, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, his opponents made a lot of mistakes, pushing him one at a time. not really how you want to be approaching that one.
Especially on pistols, right? You want to go and swarm him, push forward together, make it as difficult as possible for him. Even if a couple of you die, you shouldn't be scared. Just know that the deal is that you're trying to kill him and trying to get a gun in the round.
Yeah, it's power numbers, but unfortunately the power was not in their favor this time.
Russ, though, got himself poised and ready here for a push coming up. Oh, he just decides to move away. He's going to go back and look at Hooker. Not going to spot anyone out yet, but little does he know, they've actually started to work their way up B long. This is going to be a slight problem for him. They might be able to actually get a bit of an opportunity found. And no, he doesn't. He gets taken out with a direct headshot. Rhymes on top of it. Aslan, though, he's back in turret mode. He finds himself two, nice and clean. Can he get the third? Straight onto luckeRRR. And this man, he consistently does this for his team. But NiP are not even bothered. They've still managed to bring it back into a 2 versus 2. But the site is soon to be taken on. And maybe Hip here is thinking, okay, is there an option for us to just teleport through? I think that's what he's thinking. Oh, Rhymes gone down in the meantime, though. Okay, it's all on Hip. He does have the spike. Their rotation is already happening. They understand what's going on here, but Hip's going to have to pull off something very special. 95 health. They only got 39 left on the shield, and that's gone completely. Those shock darts have done some damage. Less than ideal. He's trying to avoid the recon. He has to push out into it. And while LEGOO, he'll make up for his previous mistake. They've managed to grab the round, but Aslan, if it was all down to him, basically, because if that hadn't happened, NiP would have had full control.
Aslan's going to be so angry about what just happened to him. He TP'd, ran through Bathhouse, and started planting over towards default. You would have assumed he was in the corner just outside Bathhouse, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
So when I saw him go there, I'm like, oh, okay, so they're actually going to obviously shock dart the wrong corner. They just went dead on him, hit him in the face. And Aslan, my God, he did this yesterday. He kept on doing it. And again, the only thing that could take him down was the Raze ult. You don't have that this time.
And what I love about Aslan, we saw this yesterday in the G2 game. His positioning is so strong, right? He plays smart. He plays off the corners of smokes. That was the other Jett smoke that was put down, right? He used it to his advantage. They don't even think to check it. He managed to walk away with 3 kills.
He's been an absolute joy to watch so far. BBL in a good spot considering all the ults they've got online, and they haven't learned their lesson over on NiP. Don't push Aslan. It just doesn't go well. Fearoth going to be throwing the drone through, and they'll look to get a little bit more control. It's destroyed immediately.
CREA trying to give him a bit of an opportunity to take some hooker control. They're already down 1 player, though. And this is the problem, right? It's now trying to find what part of the map you want to take. They're going to go back and pick up the spike, and it seems to be A where they want to focus now. They understand that, okay, be some good choke points, and Aslan's there causing us a lot of problems. So we're going to try and mix it up a bit. LEGOO's just jump spotting at the moment. Smart decision. Oh. Imagine if that had landed as well. He'd be getting some ace shock darts going down.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow. Here we ult onto it. Looking for the next. Nicely done. Can he get some more? Tries to make it happen. His location's been revealed, but it doesn't really matter because his teammates are all around him. He's got the backup he needs. They're getting the spike down. It has been planted, but that's going to be it because they're just coming through and getting absolutely torn apart. Really solid round there. Great positioning from LEGOO. Really smart on how he wanted to use his ult when it came to it as well. Surprised he didn't get a bit more of it, though. Definitely could have got 3, potentially.
Definitely. I mean, NiP's overall setup in that round was supposed to allow them to move towards the B site and get a little bit of hookah control. Obviously kept back by Aslan in the first place, and then they were smoked off, they were paranoid, they were slowed, they just completely gave up moving in towards hookah. Going back over towards the A site, 3 through toilets, it's risky, you're running through a choke point, and LEGOO had his ult. He just absolutely shredded them, did the damage up to the Omen, followed through on luckeRRR. I would have liked, obviously, if they had managed to find the hookah control or committed a bit more time towards it. I feel like they gave up on their options very quickly and went in towards a part of the map where they had no info. Also, the fact that they left the cam in play towards the back of toilets, I felt like that did basically nothing for them, whereas it could have been used potentially to spot out some players on the A side as they move forward.
LuckeRRR, though, he's managed to find the opening pick. Blinding. Nicely done by Aslan. Only gets 1, sadly. He knew he had to make a move. That drone was coming towards him. The revives come in the meantime, though, which is going to make sure it's still a 4 versus 4.
Cost them a wall as well to get that revive up.
Yeah, quite a bit of utility having to be spent already.
It should be pretty soon that another recon dart is up for the Sova over towards this side, so LEGOO can get that information, but nothing comes his way. And the super passive hold that we saw in the pistol round, that's even more so now. Almost gets a second on the fadeaway. Rhyme's going to be able to get out with his cages, and a plan should be secured towards default.
That drone's being sent spotting. Gonna get taken out, but they now know where the Cypher is. Oh, I thought he landed that then, but it was russ that picked up the kill. They're starting to push in. cNed's fallen in the meantime. They've got a good read on where the players might be, but they just can't see him yet. They've got to get their eyes on him real soon and start to make their way around. Russ checking all the corners here. He's getting ever so close. CREA now has made the noise, but oh, off the side. That's not what they want to see. Fearoth hiding away, manages to get one. CREA getting himself back into safety, low on health, and ooh, that's a shot you can't be missing. He's got to be careful, but Fearoth's there to back him up. NiP do secure another round, and they do it with just 2 alive. Solid play there from Fearoth and CREA. Good teamwork.
Yeah, definitely. For NiP, they're showing us a different face to what we saw yesterday. Definitely keeping it much, much tighter. For the number 6 team in the world, that's really what you expect. They're not ones that can really come into a tournament like this and be slacking. And it is just like, even the name brand value of the NiP overall, the fact that we saw them yesterday drop a map to Giants, almost 2, give up so much room, it's really just unacceptable for them. That's why I picked BBL to come into this and win, at least to win one of those maps, I would expect, if NiP aren't completely woken up by their performance yesterday. It seems so far they are. They're not giving away too many advantages. But even like, what was it, the second round? Or the first of the pistol round, where Rhyme just swung out in the 3v2 post plan. There's just no need.
Sorry, Hip just started chasing him down, and he still gets away with it. Brilliant stuff coming out from Hip there. Aslan got forced out of position, and Hip was just spraying going forward. In the meantime, though, Luck has found cNed, and it doesn't matter where BBL on the map right now. These openings went just hugely in favor of NiP, and now they're massively lost and confused. Where do they want to go? NiP have full control. And they've really got BBL guessing at this point.
Well, they're going to give away the answer as they move towards the A site. Again, it's LEGOO that has to get it done in a bit of a more aggressive position than what we've seen him in the past with the operator. Manages to grab one on the fade. Back onto Fearoth. The swing. Both players missed their shots, but LEGOO's good for the second. Now back in a spot where they can make it work, but Rhyme and CREA get the job done. Kero double peak to finish that one off. A really good attempt, though.
There was a world where I saw LEGOO getting away with another kill there as well. Luckily, NiP were on point for that at the end. This was huge. This bit from Hip, right? Just the timing. So Aslan just tries to run away from the drone. Gets spammed at this point, and then some more spam comes out. Just huge.
It's ridiculous. I'm just looking now. The rankings have changed pretty significantly after that Vodafone Giants game. Remember yesterday when I was saying NiP were number 6 in the world?
Yeah.
I said it just now, and I thought, is that still true after that game? They're 17th now. So that's slightly affected, obviously, because the Giants have no ranking, really. Their points are much lower, so it affects your MMR a lot more losing to them. Even the one-to-one trade. Nice shot, man. Aslan is on fire this tournament.
Yeah, he's showing us what he's worth. Aslan's not only just good with the rifles, he's able to put the Sheriff to work as well. Scary here, though, for BBL. If they don't start to pick up some rounds, if they don't start to get some momentum here, NiP could really start to run away with it.
No more charges left.
There's only 50 seconds left, so a push has to be made. And 2 of them have been spotted out now towards Hookah, but you can see they're backing off immediately. Perhaps they've shown the spike as well. I'm not sure if kero would have spotted that, but they're hoping that the rotations will be dragged by just this solo Cypher causing all the hassle. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. In fact, Jett even starts to move over. The ult's still in play. It could get very dangerous very quickly.
Oof. LEGOO tries. He was hoping to put him some work with that ult and give his team a chance. But instead, NiP will get the plant down. But here we go. cNed ults up. So a lot being spent into this round. They really want it. He's got himself in a good spot, but they're not going to just push into you. They know what you're doing. They know what you're trying to achieve here. luckeRRR just puts an end to him straight away. Gets a second one on the board, jumps into his own ult at the same time, but kero's able to seal the deal. That's a really strong performance. Rhyme's running back around. Information is going to be revealed. Now he goes, he's coming from behind as well, but just as he turns, Fearoth's there, and that kill goes the way, same as the round for NiP as we look at a 7-2 scoreline.
5 in the lead. NiP are definitely looking like the stronger team for now. BBL, they've got the chance a little bit later on. Maybe the second map will make a massive difference. It's not time for NiP to take their foot off the gas. They still have a lot to prove to us, and 7 is good, but if it's 7-5, that's not the comfort zone they really want to have. At the moment, you're seeing luckeRRR dominate in a lot of these duels. His ultimate's being used to find so many advantages. He's hitting his op shots and looking to fix everything that we were sort of criticizing him for yesterday. How consistent can that be, though?
Yeah, everyone can have a bad game, right? And
oh, yeah.
He's obviously just come back into this and thought, you know what, yesterday wasn't acceptable from my personal standards. Hopped in the DM for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Got pre-fired a couple times.
Slowly working their way up to B, though. Very defensive setup from BBL this time around. Russ going to give him a little bit of information with that, though. And that's not what they want. Russ trying to desperately escape. Oh, this is huge from NiP. He expects him to be close, but no one's even near. He needs to try and find one. The ult goes out. Oh, and he gets a double hip. It was looking like he was going to run out of time and not get anything. But NiP comes up huge. Brilliant stuff there. He went into the site and was like, what? Where is everyone?
That was an amazing ult. Straight onto the feet of his opponents. Pulling them into a position now where, like, again, I still want to see them close it out. I want to see this continue.
This is the moment he's like, what? Why is the site so empty?
Disappeared.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Just fire it in there, see what happens. But the issue for me, right, BBL are decent. We saw it yesterday.
Yep.
We know it. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting on the edge of my seat to see that same BBL come through. We didn't see them on blind. So maybe that's somewhere, like, if they do go over to a Haven, they looked very good there versus G2. Maybe that's what we need to see, Banks. Maybe we need to see a Haven up next. That could be their safe haven. Blind certainly isn't.
It was their pick last time around. Oh, the timing here, CREA isn't able to save his teammate, but is able to get at least the refrag in. They now know, though, that there's a heavy stack towards A. It means they can get this spike down no problem. They've just been able to walk into sites many a time here. Russ is hoping. Checking the corners carefully. Little does he know there's actually 2 players around here. Might be a good for 1, but it's not going to be possible. NiP's aim far too strong when it comes to that one. Actually, if you're LEGOO at this point, you just save, surely.
You would imagine so, with an operator in hand. There's still 1 round to be played for. Money's not great, but he just dove in and died.
I'm not too sure about it. Maybe it's miscommunication. Maybe they have more money than what we think. We'll see in a sec. But if they don't have an operator going into the next round, I'm very confused by that, because it's not many times you're going to win a round in that situation.
Oh, they've got plenty. Of course, the bottom right is still in that state where it says like 1900 when it's not 1900. So they had a little bit more money stacked. One of those things. It'll be fixed over time. So yeah, obviously it makes sense to dive in at that point. And even if you're trying to get like an extra kill and you die, that's 1 point more for your ultimate. Or but even if you just die, 1 point more.
Yeah, he worked his money out well better than what we were, that's for sure. cNed, though, he's not been having the greatest game. You spoke about him being a key player for this roster. Their attacking side's going to have to be something phenomenal here.
His opening duels were insane yesterday versus G2. I think it was towards the second map that he picked up 5 and 4 in the first. It was Ascent. Obviously, it makes sense on Ascent. It's quite a choke pointy map. Very linear, so you can pick up a lot with an operator. Bind, a little bit more difficult to make it work. Big old map. He's going to try to do it this time. Oh, he's caught by it. Dashes out of the way, though. Smoke down to get him back over the left side. But in the meantime, kero falls. And now they desperately need something to go their way. With cNed so low, this crossfire is probably the best option to at least guarantee them one kill when the push comes through. But it's not going to. They've moved over towards the A site where LEGOO is yet again all by himself.
Oh.
But Aslan, tucked away in the corner, catches them by surprise, coming out of the bathhouse and picks himself up at double. This could be it now, with BBL looking to find themselves at least that third round for the next half.
Oh, he thought he got the kill there. Aslan thought he took luckeRRR down, but he was able to escape. This is doable. The smoke's going to be put on the floor. cNed trying to spam up, but he's not been able to hit anything just yet. There's only 15 seconds left. That spike's still not being put on the floor. luckeRRR's run all the way around. He believes he can get this done. Timing is not going to be on his side, though. Oh, he misses a key shot. Has to go in for the spike plant. Needs to ensure that he's going to be hooked up by his teammate and covered well, but he goes straight away. It's not going to work out. And finally, another round for BBL. NiP couldn't quite manage to get to 10. But still a very impressive attacking side.
Yeah, you have to be pretty happy with that if you're NiP. There's no way to walk out of there with a frown on your face. I think they did what we'd expect considering the lead that they'd built up when they were up like 6-7-2. 9 on the board. If they win this pistol, it's 11, and they're essentially in a spot where losing this losing this map seems next to impossible. For BBL, it has to be the pistol going their way. They're going in for... I see Frenzy's out. cNed's the one with the Frenzy. I don't know what Russ is... Russ has gone in for utility instead. Respect the play. Not everybody needs a strong weapon. I think he donated the Frenzy over to cNed. Pull out for the armor. Well, he could have the armor anyways. Didn't buy abilities. Either way, BBL on the attack. They're very spread out. This is something we see quite often on the attacking side, which is where you throw down your camera as the Cypher and you immediately just rotate to the other side. Maybe that was the kind of play NiP were trying to make in one of the rounds where they had it outside of the bathhouse, where they were just trying to bait those players into peeking them.
Is it going to work out, though? That's the other thing. cNed, will he expect any aggression here? Doesn't want to push too far into bathrooms on his own. And that's a smart decision. Don't overextend and go down and just be a hindrance to your team. Very passive for now, though, from BBL.
I do wonder why they've decided to move back to the B side. They didn't face any sort of resistance on the A side. They may have heard Cypher's cam, that's about it. And over on B, their cam was destroyed immediately, so there could have been players pushed up and ready for them.
Oh, that Raze nade was on point. Timing worked out real well. They're trying to push in. Well, that's not what you want, cNed. You should have had the advantage there, my friend. On great use of Hip's abilities, but that's not going to get him the kill. Does a nice bit of damage to Russ, who'd already had to heal up his teammate. They're not having a chance. They've not even had a go at getting in. They see someone, they die. They see someone, they die. That was it.
Pretty much. cNed getting up close, didn't have the draw time on his weapon. As soon as he's shut down, I really don't understand how the trade takes that long. Not even the trade, it's the fact that nobody gets in a position to face Hip.
Yeah.
He's just left to throw blast packs and kind of smell the roses, and then eventually he has to have a little bit of a tussle with someone. That's double digits for NiP. It should be an eco for BBL, and again, 11 rounds likely to come out afterwards. We hype up BBL. I picked them as my favorites. The only reason for that is because NiP played like trash yesterday, and here they are. They're turning up. They've jumped out of the garbage disposal. Instead, they're trying to dispose of BBL straight away.
Something about NiP, right, when it comes to tournaments. They'll always have like a shaky first game or a game that doesn't do as well as we expected them to do.
Yeah.
And they just bounce back.
Talking about not doing as well as we expect them to do. cNed's having a game.
Still hasn't really improved on that.
2 kills.
Probably one of those games, right, where you just feel like you can't do anything. We've all had them. You're trying, just feel like everything's not aligned.
Well, his head-to-heads with luckeRRR have felt definitely one-sided towards luckeRRR, who's been hitting his shots, who's been not just doing it with the operator, but also with his ultimate out. He's been knifing people in the head from across the map, even when they just peek him for a quarter of a second.
That 3K was just nuts.
But this is what we were talking about this whole time. That luckeRRR, he hits these great shots. He does have good games, but it's a consistency issue. If he could have this kind of performance every time, that would put NiP on a whole nother level. Maybe back in the top 10.
You're so harsh. I can't believe one game, right, where you draw.
You
that
draw.
much. 6-17. It's like, we didn't even lose. What if we lost? Just no longer ranked.
Yeah, it's like you've lost to every team in the game immediately for it to
How
go
do
that
those
far.
rankings work out? How are they
It's
weighted?
an MMR system, so it's similar to when you play like a matchmaking game versus like level 2s or something, and you're level 10s and you lose, and then all of a sudden you're level 2s. Just because the difference in what was calculated to be Giant's skill is so different. I'm going to scroll down and see if I can find Giants on this list. When I looked last time, they didn't have a rating, but after that game, I presume they do.
They're now in NiP spot. You beat us, you get our spot. No, that just never
But there they
worked
are.
like
They're
that.
down. They're still in NA, but that would be like their place 123rd or something like that after beating NiP. But like to give you an idea, their MMR at the moment is 1523, and NiP's after losing that game is 1612.
Okay.
So before it would have been, I think, 1700 versus 0 or something like that, or no, Core 4 would have had a win, but versus 1500 or so.
So we just got a slight pause here as cNed's trying to reconnect. He just dropped out of the game for a little bit. Got to say from BBL, I expected a bit more, especially after what they showed us against G2 yesterday.
I also just want to quickly say I don't think anybody's judging things entirely based on the world rankings at the moment, just because
this doesn't make sense at the moment.
it's so versatile, so volatile, I should say. Like 3 of the top 5 teams are NA. And come on, come on, come on. Let's snap back to reality on that one.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right?
It looks like the timer's ticking down again, Banks, so we should be getting back into the game fairly soon. That wasn't a tactical, because...
No, yeah, cNed dropped off, mate.
Yeah. You lose a player, the tactic is probably just getting back, I think.
Okay, you called a strat at the beginning round. cNed, reconnect, let's go. Oh, God, cNed died straight away.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Would it make a difference? And I got the answer very quickly.
Poor cNed.
Yeah, he's not having a good game. And we gave him praise before the game, so it's not like we're being unnecessarily harsh on him.
No,
We are.
he looked really good yesterday.
Yeah, we don't underrate him as a player. He is a solid player, but Looker's winning those duels. They're literally the players you expect to go head-to-head when you're going for those Alping fights. And Looker's just dominating. Again, you've got the weaker weapon in this one, so it's not like we are too surprised that fight didn't go his way. You're pushing into all these weapons on range and finally able to take a kill, but another 4 have to follow up for LEGOO, unfortunately. So the ace clutch, the 1v5, and the shot in the back of the head to confirm that that's not going to happen.
The jump above him, he was like, they're going to come see me.
You know, it really shows how scary LeGoo is right now, that the primary concern is he might jump up above a 10-foot object rather than someone could flank me. That's...
I'd be worried. If I hear that updraft, I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
I just think it's great that you're more worried about a Marshall pushing you than a flank. Obviously, there's no reason to suspect a flank would come in that quickly, but LeGoo is definitely a very intimidating player on this server at the moment. He's got 20 kills. He's closing in on double the score of the next closest player on the team, on the server. And at 11-3, I have to say, Banks, it's not quite as exciting as the game we had yesterday to open it up.
No, this is, like I said, NiP coming back with full force. NiP realizing the errors they made yesterday. The double Jett. They were not having that. Both of them were like, let's just tailwind our ways out of here. We're not taking this fight right now.
You can see how this game is going by cNed's reaction, though.
He's like, ah!
The other Jett dashes away, and he's like, what's happening? Oh, no. Get me out of here. I don't want to die.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. It's lucky you're going up against who's definitely having a great game once again.
It looks like it's going to be a hit towards the A side. Banks, still 2 players here. The Cypher going to be the one that holds it. I don't mind this. I was watching back some of the games. A lot of players 3-stacked B with a Cypher there. That was odd to me. Great early fight by luckeRRR. He's just picked him up as the smoke was falling down. Just saw the tip of his tippy toes. luckeRRR with another. He just can't be stopped.
Oh, luckeRRR's just on point. Rhyme doesn't even need a weapon. He's just using the Sheriff. Devastation right now. The spike will still go down. It's a 3 versus 2. So this actually is winnable for BBL. They just need to get themselves in some good spots. And interestingly enough, I'm not sure why Rhyme doesn't have a weapon. What's going on? He gets taken down. Aslan's able to finish him off. This is doable. Ooh, hips come up from up high, though. Aslan now all alone in a good spot, but they spot him out first. Hip is going to check it. 12th round and match point secured. BBL, it's just, you get so close and yet it's so far.
So far, though, it's been so far this whole game.
Where you going with that,
I want to believe. I really want to believe that BBL come back into the next map. I'm just trying to run over like how much do I want to stick to. I know my prediction was BBL to win. To be honest, up against this team, I take 1-1 as a win if I'm BBL. If you manage to tie up NiP, so. For that to happen, I'm just trying to make sure my prediction isn't wrong right away. I think it's if they get at least 5 kills in the next map, that's a win, right? Yeah, it's okay. I'm right. But in all reality, I do think they'll come back better in the next map. But if you're getting 13-3'd, it's very difficult. I mean, it's so hard to predict you to win the next, and I don't think you can do that.
Like I said, we've seen this in multiple tournaments, NiP improving as the time goes on. Maybe yesterday when they were experimenting, they underestimated their opponents, and that's why we end up in this situation. kero's just trying to walk up. Now, we do say cNed get the kill onto Fearoth, but they've still got to be oh so careful. The Omen is waiting in the wings, right on the edge. There's so much going on. CREA's just lining them up. He makes it look easy. It's a 13-3. It is a solid performance coming out of NiP, and they truly put the hurt on BBL. Now, it is bind. It is NiP's map pick, but